Welcome back to another episode of Tips and Tricks HBCU Hype with your favorite instructor, Instructor Shelton. Today, I'm speaking with Miss Natoya Knight-Williams. How are you today?
All is well. How are you?
I am wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on and giving me another guest to rep HBCUs. So thank you. So introduce yourself to us. Who is Miss Natoya?
Okay, so I am a proud graduate. My name is Natoya Williams. I am a proud graduate of Florida A&M University. I matriculated through the School of Business and Industry. I am old, so I graduated in year 2002, right? I went on to do my master's at Argosy University in Sarasota, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate broker here in sunny South Florida.
I love that. Yes. Okay. With the side gig, and this is what I do. You know, that's how they do at FAMU. You know, you got more than one thing.
All day.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. So what do you love about HBCU culture? What do you love about it?
That is a loaded question, Danielle, and it's not fair because this is only 15 minutes long. But I will tell you, all the things I love about the HBCU culture are all the things that I love about myself. I'm Black, I am proud, and I represent what all of our ancestors fought for way back then. This is a culmination of all of my history and ancestry and everything that they tried to do. I'm here doing it right now. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not making millions of dollars a year, but I am a small business owner. I'm an educated woman. I can vote. All of these things encompass what my ancestors tried to do. And I really chose going to HBCU because I was ready. I was ready for that experience. And I went to a predominantly white high school, but I was woke way back then and told myself I was going to Florida A&M University even before I graduated college. So that's why I'm so proud of HBCU, specifically Florida A&M University, because I'm birthed from it. I'm a true child, right, of a HBCU. There's nothing greater than leaving with the pride that you have, knowing that you can compete in the marketplace, in the job marketplace, or you can do your own thing. They gave us the confidence to be exactly who we are and do whatever it is that we want to accomplish with the help of the education.
And doesn't it always feel good to be so closely connected to people you can see yourself? Like, representation is so important. And when I look at my daughters and I look at the people that I want them to envision and see, I want them to envision and see people that look like them so that they know, you know what, that lady looks like me. And she is out there killing it. She's doing it. And so when I talk about HBCU culture, I talk about pride. And when you say everything that you encompass, Black, proud, representing what ancestors fought for, that is really the cusp of why we go and, you know, why we encourage others to go. So I'm all into that. So of course my cell phone would be loud in this moment. So that being said, how do we find validation? How do we get people to understand that when you attend an HBCU, it doesn't mean that you're getting a lesser education than if you attended a PWI? How do we find the validation that we need?
If you need validation as a Black person on why you need to attend an HBCU, there's some self-awareness issues going on there. Not saying that every HBCU is for everyone, but there's over 100 HBCUs in the country.
Yes.
You have options. Choose one. How I validate going to a HBCU is I'm a product of an HBCU.
Yes.
I want people to look at me and say, oh my gosh, if I can do that, and she went to Florida A&M or any HBCU, if she can do that, I can do that too. The shirt I'm wearing says I'm speaking from our female Vice President Kamala Harris, who attended Howard University. I struggled with this because I wanted to wear a Florida A&M University shirt, but above all of that, I'm a Black woman. And guess what? So is our VP. And where did she go? An HBCU, Howard University. So I celebrate HBCUs. I don't believe there's a reason to validate. Just do it. I mean, it is there for us. It was built for us. We don't want these opportunities that are made for us for other people to take advantage of.
Right.
And what I mean by that, Danielle, is that we have minorities coming in HBCUs, getting the athletic scholarships. They're getting academic scholarships. They're getting other, because what, are we not interested in going to our own? So I don't think we need validation. I just feel like you should do it. It's part of what the establishment was created for people like us who want to further our education. I don't play into the whole PWI versus HBCU. You need to go to a school that has your major.
Right.
And if you're African American, you should consider an HBCU just because they were built for you. No validation necessary. I don't argue with people about that.
Yeah, you know what? I have found myself not necessarily in an argument, but I have definitely found myself in conversations having to say, Mom, Dad, I want your child to get an A1 education. And this HBCU has the #1 graduates of this particular program. And you want your child to go to a quality institution. So why wouldn't this be an option? I have literally had to say, well, how much research have you done on the HBCU? Well, what are the numbers that you've pulled? Well, when you look at medical programs and business programs and School of Journalism, when you look at the School of Pharmacy, like what are you basing your opinion on? So when I asked the question about validation, it really is because I literally run smack dab, because I teach seniors every single year, into this kind of this battle that seems to take place where students and parents sometimes are like, why is she telling us about that school? Isn't that a Black school? And I was like, oh, it is an HBCU. It is historically Black, but you can apply and you can go, and they have quality programs. And I find myself having to say that a lot. And sometimes I get angry parents, but I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, I want that child to get a quality education.
Yes.
And that's the most important.
I think it's just so important when you're talking to these parents who are typically against, if you will, if that's the right word, attending an HBCU is. I'm gonna just keep it all the way 100. Tell them to know the facts.
Yes.
The facts are important. Not only Florida A&M, a lot of these HBCUs produce the top graduates for African Americans across the country in all fields. Specifically FAMU, I love all HBCUs, but I attended Florida A&M. FAMU has the top nursing graduates, female graduates, any kind of graduates, top nursing, black students, pharmacy. I mean, there are people who go to PWIs for undergrad and then come over to Florida A&M for the pharmacy school.
Oh yeah.
See, a lot of people, they just think of FAMU as the Black popular school. No, we gets the job done. And I'll tell you this too, Danielle. I'm on the Florida A&M Alumni Association here in South Florida. Specifically Broward County, and I'm on the scholarship committee. And part of what we do is we review and analyze scholarships to give to future graduates, right? And I want to let you know something. When I look at the PWI validations, what you need to get into school, Florida A&M is right there with them. It is not easy to get into Florida A&M. Your test scores have to be on point. You have to have a proper GPA. You need to write an essay. And this is just for our scholarship. As far as admission criteria, the average student cannot get into Florida A&M University. Unfortunately, it has changed because of the funding that we had, but we are pouring more into these students. There are requirements now. And because of those requirements, we get additional funding to make the school better. And that's how we're able to do all of these things. I don't want people to compare HBCUs to PWIs based on, oh, it's a Black school. We have the same requirements.
Yes.
We have the same test scores. We're a public university, for crying out loud.
Yes.
I mean, I just don't understand how people do that. And I know I'm speaking very passionately, Danielle, because like I said, I graduated from an HBCU, but to not consider it at all, I think you're not doing due diligence on your part for your student.
Yeah, you're not doing them any favors. And I've had to have that conversation where you are not doing them any favors if you are not exploring all of their options. And by all of their options, I mean all of their options. If you don't want to explore every single option so that they can get the best education, then what are you doing it for?
Right.
For accolade, just to say I have a college graduate?
Right.
If you're not going after the best education, then why?
Mm-hmm.
For that, they can just, they can join another program. They can pick up a trade. They can, get a certificate.
Absolutely.
They can do so many other things. There are so many options now where you don't, like a college education, you don't have to get one. You don't have to have that. Not to be successful. There are so many different roads to success now.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you're pointing your child in a direction, wouldn't it make sense? And if college is the road, then let's find the best college. And if that best college is an HBCU, then where is the pushback?
I would say in this particular day and age, when you're trying to find the best college, you should look at HBCUs first. Because then when you go look at the PWIs, you'll see there's no difference in the admission criteria. You'll see we have the same things to offer as those other schools. So if you truly do your research, Danielle, they're really similar. It's no comparison. There isn't automatic disqualification because one's an HBCU. We are all out here repping Florida A&M and other HBCUs because they're worthy.
Yes.
That is it. Okay.
Look, the last question, and I think you answered this question already so passionately, and I really love it, is why should you send your child, by your child to an HBCU? Okay.
When you're talking about them other people kids, I have 2 children, okay? And my children will explore the option of an HBCU. If it comes up that a PWI is better or may have more opportunity or more scholarship funds, or for whatever reason we discover a PWI is better, we're gonna look at a different HBCU. We're just gonna shop HBCUs because they were made for us. I don't understand it, Danielle. I don't understand it. I mean, it's like wearing a custom pair of jeans. Like they are fitted, they are made for us. I am so proud, Danielle, to be a graduate of Florida A&M University. I am so proud. And I graduated in 2002. And it's like HBCUs became popular 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
We've been popping. Like, I don't understand. What is happening?
Like we've been on this train. Y'all are just catching up.
For those who are woke, we've been woke. So what I'm saying is all of this is so exciting, right? Because I didn't even know what I was accomplishing by going to HBCU. Really. And today it's a huge deal, but I knew that back then, but now it's glorified. And I also want to add this too, Danielle. I feel like the world, people who don't look like us, they value our opinion. Right. And they look for our perspective on things. And that curiosity now has heightened the senses, right? Of who we are, why we're so great. Listen, we're going to take all your donations. We're going to take all your funding. And we're going to put it right back into our community because we've always been this dope. Yeah. Period.
And when I tell you, let me tell you what made me stand up out of my seat. Looking at the NBA All-Star game, when those drum majors came out, honey, and they came out and you saw that FAMU, I was like,
that in our alumni group. I posted that in our alumni group, FAMU alumni group on Facebook. It got over 1,000 likes. 400 shares, and people who never even knew the All-Star game was on, they were totally sold out into it. I mean, when you graduate from an HBCU, you don't leave the school.
Right.
The school has planted a seed inside of you, and it continues to grow. and flourish. And I just want to say this last thing. If you did graduate from an HBCU, please go back and donate, please.
Yes.
It is on the dollars of the alumni that these scholarship opportunities are given. Like I said, I'm on the scholarship committee. Because of the donations of the alumni, we were able to add 2 additional scholarships.
Oh, I love that.
And we only, for 100 years, we had 10 scholarships. We fought to get a merit-based scholarship, and now we have 12. And let me tell you why that's important. A lot of people, it's a financial-based scholarship. And a lot of people fell out of that qualification because their family made too much. But guess what? That's not the kids' fault.
Right.
It's not the kids' fault that they probably still don't have funds. They don't know how they spend their money. So we really rallied for these 2 additional scholarships to give to exceptional students who have like really great volunteer hours. Okay, they have over 1,000, 2,000 volunteer hours. They've excelled in some other way, but they did not meet the financial criteria. We've now upped that from 10 to 12. And that's because of alumni donations. I encourage anyone who's listening to this, please give back to your university. It's funny as we sit here because look what I got. My alumni card. I am a real alumni member. And it is a Florida A&M one. So I take pride in our university, what it's done for me. I take pride in giving back. I attend my alumni meetings. I go and I support. I'm on committees. Just don't stop when you graduate. Keep going, because ultimately you're paving the path for the people behind you. In my instance, for these children that I birthed, for them, they're gonna do the same thing.
Oh my God, we can end right there. Church, the doors are closed. Collection plates. We can end right there. So I like to close out with favorite HBCU band song. So what is your favorite HBCU band song?
Of course, Florida A&M Marching 100, when they do Total Praise. I mean, this song just brings me to my knees. And it's always funny because they always do that song right before they do something ratchet. But it's amazing, right? It's amazing.
They had at least at the beginning, and then it's time to get the party started.
But you want to know something, Danielle? Ever being on campus, I'll never forget that song. I used to live in the dorm. When they knocked it down now, that's how old I am. They knocked down the dorm that I lived in.
I stayed in Pattyfoot.
Okay, so you can understand. And I used to hear the band practicing, and they would practice that song 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to the band playing Total Praise. So I really did like get my praise and worship on through the band. It was amazing.
Man, let me try to play a little snippet. You know, sometimes YouTube come through and they have all these commercials now. You gotta like fast forward past the ad, past the commercial. Let me see if I can get past the commercial to Total Praise for Total Praise to take us out. I'm gonna see if we can get to the bass and the boom of this whole thing.
Let's do it.
Oh, I gotta turn my sound up. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I missed this.
Don't you? All right. To hear the rest, you got to go to a HBCU, okay? This was another episode of Tips and Tricks, HBCU Hype with Danielle Shelton and Natoya Williams. See you guys later.